They say, if you walk the desert at night, you can still hear two voices. One calls Layla. The other answers, Case. This is the story of how those voices came to be. The desert wind was hot that day. In the tents of the Banu Amir tribe, a boy and a girl learned their letters side by side. His name was Case. Hers was Layla. They were children when it started. In the shade of the date palms, Case would carve her name in the sand when the teacher wasn't looking. Layla would laugh and wipe it away, then write his back when he turned. They didn't know it was love yet. They only knew that the day felt empty when the other was absent. Years passed. Their voices deepened. The other children stopped sitting with them. Something had changed, and the tribe felt it before Case and Layla did. One evening, Case stood before the whole tribe at the well and spoke. "By God, I love Layla," he said. "The sun rises for her. The moon waits for her. If the world forgot her name, I would carve it on my heart with my own nails." The crowd went silent. In the tents, Layla's mother pressed a hand to her mouth. "You don't say a girl's name like that. Not in public. Not before the marriage contract is signed. It stains her honor. It makes her a story on every tongue." From that day, the door between them closed. Layla was taken from the school. Her father watched her like a hawk. Case sent messages through friends, through the wind, through poems that spread faster than fire, but he could not see her face. Grief did something to him. He left the tents. He tore off his fine clothes and walked into the desert barefoot. He slept with the scorpions and drank from rain puddles. When people found him, he was talking to a gazelle as if it were his brother. He was writing Layla's name on every rock he passed. "Majnun," they whispered, "the mad one." The name stuck. Case was gone. Only Majnun remained. Meanwhile, Layla was locked in a different prison. Her father gave her to a man named Ward. He was rich, respectable, from Taif. He offered camels and gold. What did love offer? Nothing you could count. On her wedding night, Layla sat silent. When people asked if she was happy, she said, "I am where I must be." But at night, she would look at the stars and whisper, "Case, if you are alive, hear me." The meeting. Majnun heard her, or so he believed. He wandered further into the desert. He composed poems to the wind and begged it to carry them to her. He told the wolves, "If you kill me, leave my bones facing her tent." He told the mountains, "If you knew her name, you would crumble." Once, for a moment, they met again. He crept to the edge of her camp while Ward slept. She came out to draw water. They stood 10 paces apart, afraid that even a whisper would break the fragile thing between them. "Why did you marry him?" Majnun asked. Layla's eyes were dry, but her voice shook. "Because you made me a poem, and a poem cannot be married. Because your love made me untouchable to everyone but you. And you are not here." He reached for her hand. She pulled back. "If I touch you, they will kill us both. And then what? Even the desert will forget we loved." She left before he could answer. Ending. She des what wern in a brief. The dress of the general guns between my belief. She called him to the ability she made. General nes what willing to this, she designed. General has worked the number of potential of the general that he believed that he places and alow from the speakly. She left before he does, they believed he place that they would not hear to make him. What willing to the voice was really dry by her name was available. She created much for himself and love go, because if he was love that what will page. She spend themself in an economy a place that you would not. Majnun had, he said, they very at attention for her. The men was a spill to better from, and Jesus Hanel from. He carebo. What was work to carebo? He made. She left in will be dealt, but they would not carebo. She shift him, and love be interesting mouth. General has billed a minute with people of him. The general made the coming up the desert from Motherhem. The interesting hem is one of the reason collegement of case, that's wombed places. The very faith of the own believe will make that truth of her. General love them, he find them a field a case for the peace and the truth. She tell them himself, and the God my littered again. He reached for especially interesting him from interesting mouth. He wrote for her hang. Years passed. Majnun was found one morning under a rock, dead. His fingers were still moving in the sand, writing a name that was half erased by the wind. Layla heard the news and did not weep. She had no tears left. 3 days later she was gone too. They buried them in the same graveyard, under the same sky that had watched them grow up. And the Bedouins say that if you walk through that desert at night, you can still hear two voices. One calls, Layla. The other answers, Case. They never stopped looking for each other. This became more than a love story. In Persian and Sufi telling, Majnun's madness became a metaphor for the soul's longing for God, and Layla became the face of the divine mystery. Love that destroys you to make you whole. So I'll ask you this, was their love madness, or was it